Friends, the due date of 9 and 9C for 1920 has been extended till February 21, and it is pertinent that trade and industry immediately starts preparing for 9 and 9C so as to file it on time. In this video, we would discuss the changes in GSTR 9 and 9C of 1920 vis-a-vis 1718 and 1819, and the critical aspects to be kept in mind while filing GSTR 9 and 9C of 1920. The most important change is table number 8 of GSTR 9, which requires a reconciliation between 8A, 8B, 8C and the net impact of which is disclosed in 8D. So in 8A, the figures of GSTR 2A for 1920, which would be frozen on 1st of November 2020, would be auto-populated. Very important is for 1920, only those invoices pertaining or dated 1920 would be available in 2A and which would be auto-populated in 8A, right? And now you can take a dump of them also. Now 8B auto-populates the figure which you put in 6B of GSTR 9. In 6B of GSTR 9, you put in the figures which are available under all other ITC for all the GSTR 3B which you have filed. Now a very important question over here is, in GSTR 3B of 1920, you would have taken certain credit of 1819 also. What to do with that credit? Whether to put it in 6B or not? Well, friends, it is very clear in instruction number 2A, which is a major change from October 2020, that for table number 4, 5, 6 and 7, only those figures pertaining to the financial year should be reflected, and therefore one needs to cull out all the input tax credit of 1819 taken in 3B of 1920 and reflect in the column 6B only those input tax credit pertaining to the invoices of 1920 or which have been availed in 1920 only. Therefore, the moment you put in that figure in 6B, the same would be reflected in table number 8B and it would be a matching of apple versus apple. Again, in table number 8C, you need to put in those ITC which you have booked. I am using the word booked, mind that. Which you have booked in 1819, but the credit of which you have taken in 2021. That is, the booking of which is done in 1920 in the books of account, but credit has been taken till 30th September 2020. Mind that ITC which you have booked after 1st April 2020 and the credit also availed after 1st April 2020 would not be reflected in 8C. It would be reflected in table number 13 of GSTR 9. Therefore, now you can compare apple to apple. 8A would show only those ITC reflected in 2A pertaining to invoices of 1920, 8B, which would pull the figures from 6B, would also show the ITC of invoices for 1920, and 8C would also show them. 8D should normally be a positive figure. If you have not taken ITC which is more than that which is available in 2A of 1920, this is a very important issue, friends, which we must all be very careful while filing the GSTR 9 of 1920, because in case there is a negative figure now, there is no provision to attach the details of the calculations of table number 8 with GSTR 9C, which was available in 1718 and 1819, and that is why I say that this table number 8 of GSTR 9 of 1920 becomes all the more very important. Another change is in table number 6, whereby in 1718 and 1819 you could club inputs, input services and capital goods related ITC and show it under inputs. From 1920, it is mandatory to disclose the input tax credit related to capital goods separately. Only inputs and input services can be clubbed together in table number 6. Friends, it is very important to have our HSN code details also, although in table 1718 still it is optional, in 1920 also. However, you would see that in the refund rules also it is now important and mandatory to give the HSN code details, and therefore our suggestion is for table number 6 also it is important that you bifurcate into inputs, input services and capital goods, all three, even though it is not mandatory, and you can club inputs and input services. Friends, again, outward supply and inward supply reconciliation is the heart of GSTR 9 and 9C. The spillover impact has been discussed again and again in 1819. However, as per this instruction number 2A, which has been notified in October 2020, a critical issue remains to be discussed, which we would discuss herewith. Now, please note very carefully. Many taxpayers in 1819 and 1718 had taken a call, barring any instruction to the contrary, that in table 5 and 6 or table 4 and 5 relating to outward supplies, they had shown the spillover impact of 1819 in 1920. That is, the previous year's spillover impact was shown in table 4 and 5 also. Under instruction 2A, that is now barred. Therefore, in 1920, in GSTR 9 table 4 and 5, one should disclose only the outward tax liability relating to 1920. That is, on your screen, what you see in red, that is any amount of outward supplies which is disclosed in 1920 but which is related to 1819 should not be disclosed in table number 4 and 5. It does not find any place in GSTR 9 and 9C of 1920. Similarly, for input tax credit also, as we have discussed in the earlier example for table number 8, for input tax credit also, many taxpayers had taken a call that any credit of 1819 taken in 1920 that was shown in row number 6M, right, under any other ITC, that is barred now as per instruction 2A, and therefore only those ITC related to 1920 should be taken in table 6 and 7 both as per instruction 2A of GSTR 9. Friends, few other critical issues which are different from 1718, 1819 GST audit. In this year, as you know, in October 2019, Rule 36 Sub-Rule 4 was notified, whereby the taxpayer was barred from taking input tax credit which was more than 120% of the input tax credit available in 2A. That limit was reduced to 10% from January 2020. That has to be checked by the GST auditors. Although again from February 2020, due to the COVID-19 related restrictions, there was a relaxation. So for October, November, December and January, one needs to see the impact of 36(4) also for the purpose of GST audit of 1920. Few another important things which although were prevalent in the previous year's audit also, but now with the GST law streamlining, it is important that for credit notes which the taxpayer issues, a persuasive evidence in the form of a declaration from the recipient of the credit note should be taken so as to prove that under section 43(1) the recipient of the credit note has reversed his input tax credit. Waybill reconciliation vis-a-vis GSTR 1 and 2A is again now important with the GST law streamlining and the department becoming more stringent. GSTR 1 versus 3B, GSTR 2A versus 3B, those are issues which are regular in nature and which needs to be followed in the current year also. All other relaxations pertaining to table 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of GSTR 9 and 5, 12 and 14 of 9C are same as in 17, 18 and 18, 19. So friends, just to recapitulate, table 8 and 6 of GSTR 9 are very important in the GST audit of 1920, and instruction 2A of GSTR 9 should be seen before compiling and filing GSTR 9 and 9C of 1920. These factors must be taken into consideration by trade and industry before filing the 9 and 9C of GS financial year 1920. Thank you very much.